up, Summit students? Man, I am so excited to be back with you guys here in 2016. This new message series is going to impact your life if you will listen and dive into what God has for you here in the next few moments. If this is your first time, or maybe you haven't been here in a long time and you don't really know who I am, I'm Chase Hall. I'm the student pastor here, and I oversee everything from 5th grade up through college. And so, man, maybe one day I'll get a chance to meet you, or maybe if you're with the junior high right now, or maybe you're over at the girls' house in group with them, I would love to get a chance to meet you. Or you can connect, if you're over at the girls' house, you can connect with Roxy, my wife. She should be there with you guys. But man, tonight is going to be extremely impactful if you will lean in and take notes and really grasp a hold of what God has for you. And obviously by the series Title 100, you can tell that we're keeping it real. You know, we're shooting for the best life possible in 2016. And so over the next couple of weeks, I'm going to talk to you about some steps that you have to take to have the best life. And I believe that in order for us to move on for what God has for us, in order for us to move forward in 2016, the first thing that we have to do is let some things go. Now, I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day, and he was telling me a funny story about a video on Facebook, and he was saying that right before midnight, like 5 seconds before midnight, a guy reaches over and slaps his friend. They count down 3, 2, 1, Happy New Year, and the guy's just looking at him like, why did you slap me? Well, his buddy responds, it's like, hey, listen, man, don't worry about what happened to you last year. You gotta learn to let things go. And I just thought, man, how impactful is that mindset? Listen, 2016, look at it as a new beginning, as a new start. Maybe you're a senior this year and you had a rough first semester. Well, man, look, you're getting ready to graduate. You're getting ready to move forward to the rest of your life, and it is your job and your opportunity to set it up and to go into your senior, your freshman year of college with the best chances possible. Maybe you're in junior high this year and you're coming up to be a freshman this next year, and you're looking forward to it, but you're worried about some things that happen, or maybe you've made some people mad that you just think, oh, I will never be a cool kid, or I'll never be in the right clubs, or I'll never fit with the right people. Listen, you gotta learn to let some things go and move on with who God created you to be. And the scriptures that we're gonna be focusing around for this series, this message series, the month of January, and I would like everybody to write this down. It's Philippians 3, 13 and 14. And it says, no, dear brothers and sisters, I have not achieved it. You know, in 2015, we didn't achieve everything. But it says, I focus on the one thing, forgetting the past and looking forward to what lies ahead. I press on to reach the end of the race and receive the heavenly prize for which God, through Christ Jesus, is calling us. See, there's a lot of things being said in here. It says, I forget the past, I look forward, I press on, and I receive. But see, the very first thing, the most important thing that was mentioned first is forgetting the past. In Corinthians, it talks about you can't move on with what's new if you're still dragging your old self with you. You've got to let your old self die off so that you can move forward. Maybe some of you made some mistakes. Maybe some of you did some things that you were just so unhappy with. But listen, you will never be able to get over them. You will never be able to move past them if you're still dragging them with you. And every time you mess up, you think about that one thing. Or every time you have an opportunity to do something, you're thinking about that one thing. Listen, it's a new year. It's a new start. Let's create a new you. Maybe not change the friends you hang out with, or the people that you associate yourself with, or the way that you act, but a new you in the sense of, hey, let's forget what happened in 2015. Let's forget the negative and move forward to the positive. Now, some of you may be sitting there and thinking, Chase, that just sounds like a self-help message, and 2016 is going to be a better you, and it sounds cheesy or lame. But listen, I'm not about the New Year's resolution thing. I'm not about it because I believe that we should make the choice to change and better ourselves every single day. I believe that tomorrow should be better than today, and I believe that every day. I believe when I wake up in the morning, I go, okay, how can today be better than yesterday? And how can I set myself up so that tomorrow is better than today? I don't really get into the whole, okay, it's the new year, what's one thing that I can change? Or let's go on a diet, or let's go to the gym and work out, or let's stop drinking. So I don't believe in that, because I believe that you should make a conscious decision to change and stick to it. To where New Year's resolutions tends to be kind of trending. And the thing about trending is that eventually it's ending. It's in the word, trending. So don't get wrapped up in a trend just to be a better you. Make a conscious decision. In Romans, it talks about renewing your mind and being completely different than your old self. And a lot of you may be sitting there thinking like, what in the world is he talking about? I'm talking about this, simply letting some things go. And you hear all the time, forgive and forget, forgive and forget. Well, listen, I don't know about the forgetting part, because sometimes, I forgive someone, but I still remember what they did. But the difference is I remember what they did, but I don't hold it against them. I've let it go. See, you can remember what happened in 2015, maybe use some of that to better 2016. But if you're holding grudges in your heart, or if you're holding hurt and pain or anything like that in your heart, then you truly haven't let it go. See, I've forgiven people of what they've done to me, but I haven't forgot it. Just because it's a memory. It's not like all of a sudden you forgive someone and your memory is erased from it, but your heart changes. And that's what forgiveness is. Now, this message isn't about forgiveness, but I truly understand that if in 2015 you were in arguments with someone, or maybe you had a best friend that you lost because of something, I believe that in order to let some things go, that you have to forgive. Now, not forgive and forget, like I'm just gonna totally erase my memory of what happened, but forgive and forget in your heart. You need to forgive someone and not hold it against them so that you can move on. The Bible talks about there's no way that we can move on to what God has for us if we're holding unforgiveness in our heart. And I believe that's what's holding a lot of you guys back, is unforgiveness. And if you want a better life, if you want a better you, if you want to keep it 100 or whatever in 2016, you've got to let some things go and forgive some people of what they've done. Listen, I believe this is going to be the best year yet. And Pastor David said it Sunday morning at our worship experience, that this year is going to be an opportunity to work on you spiritually and grow. He called it a growing season. So I believe that if you haven't ever come into a season of your life to where you grow spiritually, whether that's listening to worship music throughout the day, or whether that's reading your Bible more, or getting into a Bible study, or coming more to connect groups so that you can dive deeper into what God has for you, I believe now is the best time to start. See, I have a lot of young people ask me all the time, Pastor Chase, when is the best time to start? I've messed up so much, but when can I start over? Is it too cheesy to do it at the beginning of the year, or during an altar call, or do I need to wait till summer camp to experience that feeling? You know what I tell them? The best time to start is right now. Right now. If you keep putting it off and coming up with excuses, see, there's always an excuse not to do something or to put it off. You will always find a reason not to start. You will always find a reason to say, okay, this is not the best time to start, I'll do it later. Like Monday. Why is Monday the best day to go back to the gym? But that's the excuse you hear. Well, come Monday, I'm gonna go back to the gym. Well, why not go in the morning? So why do you think we have so many problems with starting over? It's because we haven't let some things go. We haven't got rid of the excuses. See, sometimes we don't want to move forward, and we just don't want to move forward. A lot of us want to hold that pain, want to hold that grudge, want to hold that unforgiveness in our heart because it's easier. You truly find out who you are as a Christian. You truly find out who you are as a person when you can let some things go and get them out of your heart. So I encourage you, in 2016, start by letting some things go so that you can be a better you. You're gonna break out into your connect groups right now, and you're gonna have some questions to answer, and I want you to truly dive into what you have to let go. I want you to truly think about what are some things that I can let go. So let's get raw, let's get serious, let's really focus on what are some things in 2015 that I can let go. How can I do that? How can I get my friends and student groups to help me do that? So let's start focusing on that. Get into your groups, dive into discussion. I encourage you, if you've been coming to group for a while and you've never really opened up in group and you've never really opened up in discussion, now is the time to start. Let some things go. Let's move forward to being a better you. Open up, because I promise you, when you open up, your life will be changed from the inside out. I love you guys. Tonight's going to be great. I'm excited to get into discussion with you. We'll see you next week.